Sharma for actually very insightful, thought-provoking talk. I hope the audience have really understood the message of the CAPE, because I found it really fascinating, and it sums up the whole issue with AI. So now, because we are a little bit behind time, I would like to open the floor for maybe 2 questions, but please ask questions, direct questions to Professor Sharma. Yes, please. And you can come next to me here. Yeah. Yeah.
So first of all, thank you so much, Professor. I'm here. Thank you so much, Professor Sharma, for this insightful presentation. And I've learned a lot of things, to be honest. And I really liked how you shed light upon a lot of things. But I have a question, like a very interesting question for me, because you talked about economical and political issues that are related to AI. But can we only talk about economical issues and political issues only with AI? Because AI, as you said, it takes information from the real world, from articles, from media. In media, real world articles, dissertations are all full of, let's say, political, economical dimensions. So it is not actually related to AI itself, but it is related to the content that AI gets.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
As I was saying, there are problems in the world, and some things make the problems a little mitigated. Some things make the problem much worse. AI is the second. AI didn't invent the political problems. Colonization has happened for the last 300 years. AI will turbocharge information-based colonization. The army will not come, but an invisible octopus encircling the world to suck knowledge out of all the societies. Because knowledge, in a knowledge economy, knowledge is the trillion-dollar industry. From industrial, agricultural economy, to industrial economy, to service economy, to knowledge economy. And people even say there's the 5th economy, attention economy. And if it begins to control our attention and take our data, that is when AI will magnify the existing last 300, 400 years of challenges by 10-fold. That is the problem. So it didn't invent the problems, it magnified them.
Thank you so much for answering.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Professor Sharma. You did talk about things that really presents nightmares for us. Okay, as number 1 as researchers, number 2 as researchers from Africa. Okay, so I just want to add up to what my colleague there said. You mentioned epistemology. I love how you integrated philosophy, Plato, Locke's a concept of the blank slate into technology, and that's just amazing. Now, my question relates to how can we claim back the narrative? Because we know that AI generates content that is already there, okay? That is, let's say, controlled by agendas, okay? Agendas that could manifest themselves into science, into scientific research, and the map you just showed us is just wonderful. 1% about Africa, from Africa, and that's, I think, is mind-blowing. Back to Dr. Professor Badri's point about Facebook. Now, my question, do you think that Facebook content, okay, if used, all right, into AI, wouldn't that be somehow positive in the sense that in Facebook, many of us express their own points of view? So would that be a, let's just say, a door to reclaim the narrative in the sense that Facebook content in itself, it presents the narrative, the alternative narrative, if I should put it this way. I don't know if you get my question.
Yes, absolutely a very humbling question. I actually do not have I wish I had a better answer about this, but I can begin to scratch the surface. It's a very humbling question. If there is a structure, an epistemic, political, economic structure in the world, and then if we try to reclaim that, we may become fodder. We may become more a part of it. If we give all the data to the existing structure from Facebook, from government, industry, and social data sets, from contributing new knowledge as scholars, from media, from all aspects of our life, then that system will become more dominant on somebody else's terms, somebody's money, somebody's power, and somebody's interest. If we don't, then we remain invisible in the map. So do we participate in the map? It seems like 80% problem, 20% benefit. Do we create a new map? Maybe that's a solution, but it's so unrealistic. I would urge the computer scientists in the room, can you build systems that will create a new map, that are locally grounded from the ground up, and that will challenge the narrative of the global north? Maybe they're political scientists who can develop new frameworks and say, this is how to grapple with the politics. I'm only a professor of writing, rhetoric, communication, so I can only begin to ask questions. To answer this question would be to be arrogant. I cannot. But you, together, not alone, are going to try to answer the multidimensional questions. What do you do with the political tentacles? What do you do with the economic tentacles? What do you do with the, right? An octopus has 8 hands. What do you do with all of these? I can only tackle one tentacle, the tentacle of information, cross-cultural knowledge, epistemology. I do believe that when you do your research, and Professor Al-Kirat and Professor Al-Ghazali have and the three of us are connected to a global network of scholars, especially trying to promote the interest of scholars in the global south, called the Society of Transnational Academic Researchers, STAR. And in the STAR network, we're trying to help scholars around the world to build research projects and knowledge from the ground up. This is not to counter any Britain. Britain's gone. That empire has sunset, right? We need to really not talk about this in terms of like, oh, colonization and the blah, 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 that philosophical term, but rather in realistic terms. Who are my patients? Are their disease same as the patients in London? What is my engineering design? Do the needs of the local homes and the local bridges and the local roads the same as in Canada or France? Basically asking the questions of research by looking at things around you will help us to start building this new system. So at least as researchers, we can begin to write the map from the ground up, right? And then the computer scientists will come and help with a little bit of the data setup. Then the political scientists may come and help with the power dynamic, and the economics and the government may be able to help us with the economic question. There's no need to blame Britain anymore, or France. I think the real problem is when we fail to develop things from the ground up, when we depend on these kind of systems that are not really helping us to change the story, then we become a problem. So let's be part of the solution. I think we can move in the right direction.
What a great answer. I will take one last question and then we can, of course, go for the break to come back for a new talk by Dr. Karim Baina. Okay, any other question? If you have no questions, of course, I would like to thank Dr. Sharma for a very inspiring, actually very realistic view about AI and the use of AI. I've been really under the spell of the way he thinks, because I've had the privilege of attending one of his training programs, Star Scholars, and very insightful program that I would like you all to try, because it's really very, very, it develops you academically, professionally, but also personally. So, of course, let's all please applaud our keynote speaker for a clear stand, and I'm so happy that he happened to be among us. I really was so happy when we were able to invite him, and it coincided with the doctoral spring school, and we could not have found a better keynote speaker, of course, in addition to our local speakers, but as an international speaker, to give you actually the way, even at the international level, people think about AI. And he is very much involved at the level of his university in establishing a different culture about how to use AI and so on. So we are really very happy to have him with us, and we will never thank him enough for his intellectual generosity. He's working very, very hard, training professors in academic writing, training trainers for trying to maintain this tradition of academic writing at the level of our university, and also offering doctoral students an opportunity to attend workshops in academic writing. So thank you very much all for your participation, and now I invite you all for a coffee break.